right, good evening, everybody. It's Mais Crebian. Hope you're doing well. I decided to do a quick live stream and go over some important questions that I get throughout the week and beginning of the year, and very excited to answer some of the questions that I get. Most of them from my clients, especially when it comes to their finances, and some of the questions I thought it's very important so I can share with you guys, and hopefully this is going to be very helpful. And because I know for a fact, many years in finance business, 19 years, dealing with people's finances on day-to-day basis, I know that people need education when it comes to money. People need, um, just want to make sure the voice is okay. People need knowledge. People need information. People need wisdom. And when I sit down with clients and I help them, I truly want to make sure that um, I'm able to give them right education so they can make right choices when it comes to their money. Because I know for fact that understanding the language of money will definitely help you to make better choices, will definitely help you to grow your finances more properly, faster compared to many other people. And definitely on a long run, it's going to make big impact in your retirement, in your future, and just generally. It's so important to understand how money works. So I'm gonna keep very simple. A lot of times people ask me, Mais, what is the key to make more money or maybe invest your money? Where to invest? How to invest? What kind of risks are there? Many questions like this that I get throughout the days when I work with people, and also when I hang out with a lot of business people, when I go to different meetings. This is the subject that I get questioned on a lot, and I really do my best to educate every single person based on their knowledge and based on their finances. I don't give the same advice to every single person same way, because one thing that I make sure to do is go over the person's situation, their financial circumstances, and understand where they're standing and try to figure out what areas they need to improve or what areas they need to focus on to build their financial house better every time, every year. And since we are starting the 2022 new as a new year, I believe it's important to definitely make some changes in your finances, so by end of the year you look back and you see a difference. There are four principles that I always explain people when it comes to money, and it's so important to understand these four layers of foundation, and the importance of building those layers, these foundations in order, and follow up consistent basis. I do it at least 2 3 times a month, and I want to share some of the concepts that really help me to pay attention to my finances and make sure that it's consistently in a better shape. So the first thing that I go over or I advise people to make sure is their, what we call is financial protection. You got a first layer, it's a protection. What do you protect? How do you protect yourself or your finances? Well, two main uh, concept that we call protection is having a health insurance and also having a life insurance. I'm not saying this because I'm in a business. I'm saying this because this is truly one of the most important layers and fundamentals that you can do when it comes to your finances and to your money. Why these two areas are important, and it's the first thing that you have to make sure every single individual, especially if you have a family, especially if you have kids, you have to make sure that you have these two services in your life. And if you need codes or pricing or advice, you see my information. You can follow me everywhere at Mike Caribbean. Message me on social media, and we can maybe do a phone call or meet if we have to, and I'll explain more details. But I'm going to cover the basics. So, health insurance. Do you guys know that 70% of bankruptcies are due to medical bills? People don't have health insurance. Something bad happens, they go to emergency, surgery, or any kind of health issue. Just visiting the emergency and coming back, staying there a few hours, if you don't have a health insurance, you will receive big amount of bills. I've seen 5,000, I've seen 10,000, I've seen 12,000 just staying on an emergency room for a couple of hours. You can get a big bills like this. Imagine if you don't have health insurance, what do you do? Well, you're going to touch your savings, hoping and assuming you do have that much saved. If you don't, what do most people do? They pay the bill on payments with interest, or they probably put it on credit card. So bottom line, you must have health insurance. Number two, you got to have life insurance. Why? Because God forbid something happens to the individual, they die. You don't want your loved ones, your family members, to, on top of the losing the individual and having all these stresses, on top of that, worrying about money at the same time. That's going to double their pain and be in a worse situation. So you want to have also life insurance. And there's a ways to calculate what is a proper coverage for each individual. There is a formula. If you want to know more details, definitely keep in touch with me and I'll show you how. And also the nice thing about in today's world that a lot of life insurances comes with a thing called living benefits. That means the individual doesn't have to die to tap into their coverage. In some cases, when they have major health issues, for more details, like I said, we can talk in person. You can tap into your coverage and claim towards your policy and open a claim, and we call that living benefits, using your benefits while the person is alive. That's the first layer, protection. Number two, that is very important, and I always tell people to make sure follow this consistently and pay attention as well, because it's also very, very important. It's debt management. You want to make sure you get out of debt as soon as possible, and you want to make sure you don't have debt. Of course, there's two types of debt: good debt and bad debt. I'm talking about mainly the bad debt. What are some of the examples of having a bad debt? It's very simple. For example, having a credit card and you're paying interest on it, that's a bad debt. Buying a car, having an auto loan, that's a bad debt, or student loan, or any kind of a loan that you pay interest on, where the lender or whoever lends you the money earns interest from you. I call that bad debt. Unless you have a debt that it's on a mortgage or on a property, on the land, on something that we call asset that earns you income as the time goes by, I call that as a good debt. So there's some details, and you have to understand clearly what is the differences. That's the second thing. Get out of debt, don't have any debt. Number three, once you pass that stage, is next step to build your financial house is having an emergency fund. And what I mean by emergency fund is you want to make sure you have anywhere from 3 to 6 months to maybe a year of savings. So if your monthly expenses are $5,000, if that's how much is your monthly expenses, I always tell people have at least 3 months of your monthly expenses, put it in an emergency fund. That's 15,000. Put somewhere, have a liquid access. So if any emergency happens, you lose your job, something happens, you don't worry for 3 months until you figure out what you're going to do next. That's the minimum. But if you want to have stronger financial foundation, I always tell people not 3, but push it 6 months. And if you're more serious and you wanna feel more comfortable and secure, 12 months. Imagine you have 12 months of your monthly expenses saved on the side. If something happens, you don't worry about it for a year if you have to. How much financial peace of mind would that give you, and how secure you will feel financially? So that's number 3. And last one, investing. Once you do this step, protection, debt management, emergency fund, the last step is what I encourage people to do is invest your money. Invest your money. Invest your money based on different vehicles, whether it's some kind of a retirement plan, whether it's real estate, whether it's some kind of annuity, or nowadays very familiar, and I'm sure we keep hearing about this, investing your money into crypto, which is more riskier. You got to do your due diligence to make sure whatever you're doing with your money, you understand what you're getting into, you understand the risk of it. But the bottom line is the last part, that's when you start investing your money after you completing step 1, 2, and 3. So those are very important concepts that I always make sure I go over with my clients, with my friends. And people always ask me, do you invest? I said, yes, I invest, but I make sure I complete these 3 steps. And I always maintain these 3 steps before I invest more or diversify my investments. If you want to know more detailed, customized concept, how I go over these 4 steps, 4 layers in more details, definitely get hold of me. You see my information, Mike Caribbean. You can follow me everywhere in social media. I encourage everyone to follow my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, and my LinkedIn. And I put a lot of educational videos like this. I'm gonna put it more and more. If you subscribe my YouTube channel and put the notification button, you will get a notification once I upload something new. And also, I want to take the opportunity and sorry, guys, and also finish my video by saying thank you, everybody, those who are supporting my book. This is in Amazon. It's called The Secret of Living is Giving. Definitely put my name, Mike Caribbean, or Secret of Living is Giving. Order this book and read. I teach people 10 steps how to reach your potential, how to learn a lot of important lessons that I learned in my life that helped me to become more successful, whether it's in my personal life, my business, my career, or my faith. And definitely, I give a lot of great points. The secret of living is truly giving and helping other people. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. And thank you for your time. Share the video and have a good one. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.